I want to start this by saying that this right here, this is a paper straw, not plastic, paper. Save the turtles, save the ocean, save the planet. I'm going to Chicago. If you're watching this, I'm going to Chicago. I am at the Boston Airport, Logan International Airport. Ask me anything about travel, like hacking, even though I don't love that term, travel advice, travel budgeting, all of that stuff. In the airport, going home for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and then I'm going to be in the Midwest area for the next month or so, maybe. Then going out to California, I think. But yeah, I'm in the Boston airport. About to get on there and fly in an hour. My meal is free right now because of airport lounge stuff. So ask me anything about travel, primarily hacking, budgeting, flights, that type of thing, and I will answer it. Or you can't ask me anything, but let's focus on that. Cool. There's 25 people watching. Wow. Okay. But yeah, I'm going home for Thanksgiving, and then I think I'm gonna be in Minneapolis, St. Paul in at the end of this week, and then next week I will be in Milwaukee, and then after that I think I might go back to the Twin Cities, and then I'm going to California, probably mid-December, unless there's this plan that might work out. Then I might go to Southeast Asia, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But yeah, ask me questions if you're here about anything. Travel, I want to focus on helping people travel better, smarter, credit card points, traveling points, hacking. I hate that term, but that type of thing. Hi Tony, how's it going? From Utah. I've never been to Utah. I hear it's gorgeous and all the red rocks and all that stuff. Do you just carry a carry-on with all your travel? That's a great question. I have 2 bags when I travel. I have my camera bag and then my clothes bag. If I can check my clothes bag for free, I check my clothes bag because if I lose that one, it's not that big of a deal. If I lose my camera bag, then I lose $6,000. So that one is always with me. Hi from Costa Rica. Hello to Costa Rica. Are you planning to, Nana says, are you planning to travel to Asia? Where have you been traveled to Asia if you've been? I've been to the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia. I want to travel more to more parts in Asia. Pather says, hi Neng, you're so amazing. Thank you so much. Love your videos, thank you so much. Gonu says, what are your must-haves when you travel? An external charger for your phone is one. I have these little bungee cords that help me tie my camera up and everything. A lot of my travel things are video related, but I would say charger for your phone, for sure, external charger. Thank you so much. Food, this was $28, but I'm getting it for free with my Priority Pass Air Lounge things, which comes with one of my credit cards. So technically through that I get $28 to $30 for free every time I fly, at least in the lounges. So today it's $28 exactly. Travel hacking, that's why I want to talk about travel hacking and stuff. This is a lobster roll. Since I'm in the Northeast, Boston specifically, you have to get lobster rolls, right? Love lobster. Okay, going back to this question. Hi from Arkansas. Hello. Must-haves. One thing for sure, I know I'm going back to that. One thing for sure to have when you're traveling is an external battery charger for your phone. Eres un chico viajero. Sí, claro. Gracias, Fanis. What is the best to go-to food at the airport? Best go-to food at the airport depends what I'm into. Right now, it's a lobster roll. B says, do you ever get sick from traveling? I've actually never got sick from traveling. Emma says, what is travel hacking? Travel hacking is I guess trying to get as many perks through traveling, so you can travel as free as possible, as compensated as possible. Sunny says, how much do you spend on hotels? I typically don't stay in anywhere fancy, so I don't spend that much on hotels. Abroad, if you want like a really nice hotel, sometimes they're like $30, and that's like super cheap. I stay in hostels a lot, which saves me a lot of money. My dad says, hello from Minnesota. Hope to see you this weekend. Yes, I'm going to the Hmong New Year this weekend. Come see me. My yes says, hi Neng, you're making me hungry. I am really hungry right now. I haven't eaten all day. Good. Yeah, this is my lobster roll. It is compensated through my travel priority lounge pass. Yoli says, do you have a girlfriend? I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have time for a girlfriend. I'm married to my videos. What kind of discounts is there for traveling? There aren't that many great discounts for traveling unless you know someone in the travel airline business. I don't. I just try to play the credit card game, so meeting minimums and getting points and stuff. Where have you traveled so far? A lot of Latin America and Southeast Asia. Kevin says, how much would you recommend to save before traveling? That's a great question. I guess it depends where you want to go and and how long you want to be there for. Ma says, Madison or Minnesota for the new year. I'm going to Minnesota. Amable dice, hola, soy de Juchitán. Hola, Amable López. Mucho gusto. Cuando regreso a Juchitán, nos vemos. Baby says, love your videos, Neng. Keep them coming. Thank you so much. But yeah, this lobster roll, we're gonna test it. Sometimes airport food is a hit or miss. But this is a real restaurant, so we'll see. That was the biggest bite of lobster I've ever taken. How many languages are you fluent in? 3. Smith Kang Joa says, are you going to write another book? Yes, I have lots of book ideas. I just need time. It takes a long time to make a book. Leah said, what are your future trips next year? Any plans for New Year's? I might be in California for New Year's. My trips will, starting in January, I want to go to Africa, specifically East Africa. And I think that'll be really fun. Right now, Lenny, I am going to Chicago. I'm in Boston Airport. I'm at a airport lounge. I'm going to Chicago to go home for Thanksgiving. Sunny says, will you be traveling to Puerto Rico with me? If you invite me, I will go, depending on when. Who says, what did you do in Boston? I was there visiting Harvard and Harvard-Yale, Harvard versus Yale football game. Vanessa says, what's the best place you have traveled? I was just in Mexico last week and 2 weeks ago. Love Mexico. You all should go to Mexico, especially if you live in the U.S. Sometimes, going back to travel advice, someone sent me a message the other day and asked me where they should go traveling. They're going somewhere for after as a reward for themselves for dieting or something for losing X amount of pounds, which is awesome. They're from California, or no, they're from Minnesota, Wisconsin, and wanted to go somewhere warm in the winter. like Florida, but my advice was actually just go to Mexico because it's significantly cheaper. The lodging is cheaper, the villas are cheaper. It's flying to Mexico is like sometimes cheaper than like flying to Florida. So if you have to go and you live in the U.S., like go out of country sometimes is so much cheaper than vacation within the U.S. Yours says, do you travel alone mostly? Yes. I travel alone like 95% of the time. Leah says, I can hear the crunch of those fries. Is that bad? Should I? Nah. Ligana says, so excited to see you at Hmong New Year in Minnesota. I'm super excited for that. I can't wait to make a video there. I hopefully like 100 people will like come. Lenny says, loved your videos in Panama. You did us justice with lots of flavor. Gracias. Thank you so much. I love Panama. I wish it was there right now because it's Meste Patria, but next year. Next year, estaré in Panama. Lime. Lemon. Okay. My flight leaves at, I think, 8 o'clock. This is the bad thing about traveling. My flight leaves at 8 o'clock, and then I get to Chicago at like 10. Then I'm gonna take a bus to Madison, and I won't get to Madison until like 1:30. So it does get like lonely and like really tiring sometimes. Richard says, best advice for how to meet new people in new countries. Traveling, I meet people like in hostels. I meet people through other people. Sometimes people introduce me like on Facebook, and then I like become really good friends with friends of theirs. And sometimes I really just meet people on the street. I know that sounds like really sketchy, but I do it. When I see like break dancers on the street, because I'm like a total poser, I like go dance with them, and then they're all of a sudden my friends. I also send messages to like nonprofits that I want to work with or like I want to visit, and then I like go visit them, and I get to meet a lot of people. What is ASMR, Asona Cheng? I love these kind of ASMR. Do not ask me why. Tell me what that is, and I'll answer it. Chua, thank you so much. Where would you recommend to travel in January? Anywhere that is warm, maybe Mexico if you live in the U.S. I hear like Tulum just opened up because it was like closed for a really long time because there was like this algae bloom on the beach. So I'm kind of wanting to go to Tulum, Mexico. Gal says you're a very inspirational person. Thank you so much. Leah, remember when random people just told Ning to enjoy a meal? Kalia says, what's one thing on your bucket list when you want to check off the new year coming up? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't have like bucket lists that much anymore. I feel like if I just do what I want to do every day and focus on one thing and do my best every day, all of that like doing my best will hopefully eventually pay off in the end. And then they will like build up to be like on my bucket list. Do you camp outside the U.S. in warmer countries? I have never camped like in a tent in other countries, but I would love to. This lobster roll is pretty good. My meetup location for Saturday at 2. It's on the event description. It's like a lower stage, I think. Oh, Jenny, you're funny. Amy says I need that scarf. Thank you. I got this in like Chile. I think it's like a northern Chilean, like Bolivian, like Peruvian type of fabric, like the Andes. Hello, hello, hello. Smith says, this is a good question. How much money do you use on food when going to different countries? To answer that question, Smith, I is that like your first name, Joa, or is it like Joa Smith King? Anyway, when I was living in California, my budget for the day was like $6 $6 on food every day when I was living in California. That's really small because I cook every single day for myself, and because of that, I spent very little little money. When I travel, it's right around $10 a day that I spend on food. Doyle says, saludos de una panameña desde Washington State. I love Washington State. Saludos. New says, where you're going? I am going to Chicago to go back to Wisconsin, where you are, I think. Yeah, if you're just here, like joining, ask me questions about travel hacking, travel points, airline, getting cheap flights, how to travel more, better, cheaper, that type of thing. Or anything, but mostly that, because I'm in the airport, so I feel like that's fitting. Boston airport's going to Chicago for Thanksgiving. It's freezing here. In Washington doesn't get that cold. I'm in Boston and going to Wisconsin where it's really cold. Richard says, is traveling a full-time job or just a passion for you? It is a full-time job now, but it is also a passion. But it used to be just a passion. Now it's a full-time job. What website do you use to get cheap tickets? I use Skyscanner. It also scans for like budget airlines, so Skyscanner is what I recommend. Nancy says, do you use Chase for travel rewards? That's a good question. Chase is one of the cards I use. Chase and American Express are the main two cards that I use for travel rewards. Leah, what's the coldest place you visited? Probably Minnesota or Wisconsin, where I'm from. Mo, I'm in the Boston airport going to Chicago. Website for best flight looking is Skyscanner. I like Skyscanner. I want to work with Skyscanner. They have this feature where you can type like your destination instead of putting like I'm going to Chicago or something. You can put in anywhere, like literally type in anywhere for the destination, and then it'll just show you the cheapest flights to anywhere. Which I kind of want to do this video where I do that and pick a flight to anywhere and just buy the cheapest one and just go there for a weekend. Hello.
If I just scan you now?
Yes, you can do that.
If you don't mind.
Give me 1 minute. Sorry. I'm totally distracted.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so just whenever you're ready, you're
Yeah.
just going to have a balance of 196.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is like my priority pass card. That gives me like access to lounges and stuff. So this meal, you might have heard him, but fries, a lobster roll was like less than $2. So that makes traveling a little bit cheaper because I saved, this was $28, but now it's $2. So that saves me a lot of money. Leah says, what's the coldest place you visited other than America? Actually, Vietnam. When I was in Sapa, it was like really cold. It actually snows in Sapa, Vietnam in the winter, and people live in like wooden houses. It's like absolutely like insane. Like it is crazy. Kay says, come to Minnesota this weekend. I will. Come to my meetup. I'm doing a meetup at the River Center. At Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, River Center, 2 o'clock at Saturday. Some places have transportation system. Do you travel by that system or do you travel by foot? If I can, I use public transportation because it's cheap and fast. Ming Ching says, "Are you scared of flying?" I'm not scared of flying, but that's a funny question. Would you consider doing a vlog at the Northern Lights? I would love to go to like Iceland and see the Northern Lights. Omar says, "What is your full-time job, brother?" I make videos now. I make these videos, Facebook videos, and now I'm like starting to make money from them. Not a lot yet, but I'm starting to. Lisa says, "Will you be wearing Hmong clothes this weekend for the Hmong New Year?" For my video in Minneapolis about refugees, Hmong refugees specifically in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and St. Paul. Yes, I will be wearing Hmong clothes. Barbie Taw says, "Are you coming to California anytime soon for seminars?" Yes, I want to come to California, and I love doing seminars, so I think that will happen. Nuchi says, "Is there a cheaper day of the week to travel?" I think there are, like if you're not traveling on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you like travel on a Tuesday or Thursday, then it's like cheaper. There's also this like thing where people think if you buy flights on a Tuesday, it's cheaper. That's never worked for me. I don't think it really matters when you buy it, what day of the week you buy flights on. Richard says, "How often do you have to travel in order to reward cards or membership cards to be worth it?" It depends how you play the game. You can follow, it's called like churning vlogs or churning blogs, where people sign up for cards just for the points, like the intro points, and then they just get those points, like 50,000, 75,000, which can be worth anywhere from like $500 to $1,000. So you can follow a lot of those vlogs, blogs, whatever, and then so you don't have to travel that much. You just, if you want to spend like the minimum, and you only should be doing that, only signing up for cards for the minimum when you can like not be spending extra money to meet that minimum. Is there a certain airline that you usually fly with? No. What's your favorite food? A good margarita pizza, wood stove fired, one of my favorite food. How often are you traveling? Have you been anywhere? How often are you traveling, and have you been anywhere it became a challenge to obtain a place to stay? I think no, I have never traveled to a place where I've like found it hard to find a place to stay. Any tips on maximizing travel reward programs, rentals, hotels, mileage, airfare? That is a great question. I'm definitely not an expert in all of this yet, but I try to double dip as much as I can. So I will like get a credit card, and I will use that credit card's portal to buy everything that I need. And when you buy through their own portal, you also get extra rewards. You can also, like when you're taking a flight through, let's say American, because I'm flying American in a couple hours, you can use a credit card, you'll get 5% back, and then if you have like airline credit, like loyalty program, then you can get points on that too. And then that's how you get as many like double dipped points as possible. Mai says, "Since you're always traveling, how do you feel so safe all the time?" I think that's exactly why I feel so safe all the time, because I travel all the time and I know that like nothing is going to like go wrong, because nothing really goes wrong. It's just like the world's a lot safer and nothing's bad has happened to me. So because of that, I feel safe traveling. Della, where do you plan to go to next? Actually, this weekend I was talking to one of my friends who runs a nonprofit. It's called Run, actually, funny enough, in Uganda. So I might go to Uganda next, in terms of like a different country. Any airport horror stories? No. I guess the like worst horror story is like missing flights. One time I was in Indonesia and I was running late for a flight and I went outside and I needed to switch from like gate 1 to gate 2 and I got a taxi to take me from gate 1 to gate 2, except that this taxi person was like trying to charge me to go from gate 1 to gate 2 like $20, which was like obscene, especially given it was Indonesia. But I didn't even have $20 on me, like in Indonesian rupiahs, so I gave him like some Costa Rican dollars. Thank you. Yep. But that's what I did. No horror stories though, like really bad. Like I've never been like stuck in an airport for like days on end or anything.
Happy holidays, sir.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Yep. How do you save up money to travel? Says Destiny. Good question. I worked for 2 years after college. That's like the short answer, and I didn't spend a lot of money. And I had like goals in my head about like how much money I was going to save. Now I'm like starting to save money again because when I started traveling, I wasn't making money for a while. Sha says Delta credit card or United credit card. Depends what city. Some cities have more Delta like planes and flights out of that city. So for example, Chicago, like one of the main airlines is American Airlines. So if you're in Chicago, maybe you would want American Airlines. If you're in Seattle, then maybe you would want Alaska Airlines. Depends on your city. Tree says, when will you stop or slow down on the traveling? Not anytime soon. I guess when I like stop having fun, then I'll slow down on the traveling. Mike says, I want to visit Uganda. Me too. Mike says, want us the nonprofit organization name of your friend. We'd like to do mission work. Go back and watch the video. Yes. Hello from Fresno. Hello. I will be in Fresno next month. Mary, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Destiny. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this food, and then my flight, is in less than an hour. So, I think I'm gonna go. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me, and especially all the people who are still here. We have like over 50 people, so that's really cool. Yeah, if you have any questions about like flights and stuff, feel free to message me. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And I will see you again pretty soon because I will be doing more lives. I'm making a video tonight, so once I land in Chicago, catching my flight in like 15 minutes. But thank you so much.